Okay, so this all started with just a Python project. I wanted to do some analysis on my investments, my 401k, and other investments, see how they're doing. And then it expanded to I wanted to attribute how news affects market prices, the market overall. It's the major number one, I would say, factor in driving prices up and down. News, bad news, good news, or the lack of news. There's technical trading for sure. It's in there, but a lot of it is driven by news, or like I said, the lack of news. So anyway, I did this. There's a lot of different things here. Is Monte Carlo simulations, right? Um, I did this before attributing for news and after, so they're a little bit changes a little bit different. And then here's a chart where you can see like negative news, news that affects the price in major ways, either up or down. And then I wanted to do some more. Let's see. Here's one that's a little bit more involved. This is year to date, so it starts in January. You can see the attributes and the tags correctly, or in different ways, a lot more, and it's able to um, tell you, like over here, see this blue area, this is all AI sector related. Like it tries to chunk and group the news into groups as well, on a chart, not just reporting it like this. So I did that, different type of charts, blah blah blah. And then I was like, okay, what I really wanted to do is just for fun, is to move this as a tool to live inside a web interface. Okay. So here's this is not open to the public or anything like that. So here's the URL over HTTPS. So that's a subdomain here that I added. It's all encrypted over SSL. All right, so let's log in to show you what I did. First of all, I did change a lot about this default interface. The login screen was here on the left, and this whole there's about 30% of the screen was just not doing anything. It was just a login button here and all white. So I moved it all to the top, so we're not wasting space. Another thing I did was these are the navigational buttons. I made it so as you scroll down, they stay. You can see what's going on and easily, switch. Another thing is any all the action buttons were grouped appropriate different colors, like this, so download anything, so you can see the buttons really easily, like add to watch or delete, anything like that. It's all done. So this is a fictitious account. Here's another thing about this. This doesn't ask you for any of your personal information, like it doesn't care about your name, address, where you live, anything like that. There's one feature here called alerts, which is actually really useful. It will when you turn this on, it would ask you for your email address, so that potentially could link you in some ways, right? But uh, beyond that, nothing really, right? So this could be real, this could be fictitious, this could be just you're learning in school, you're practicing. If you've never done any stock market investing, highly recommend you practice for a while and see what kind of averages you get, not on one trade because you could have got lucky, but have like 20, 25, 30 trades and see. Like it's not the same thing as trading, by the way, with real money. The pressure's not there, so you could potentially make different decisions with fake money versus real. Just something to keep in mind. But anyway, here's your cash balance, right? So you can keep track of that. Here's the watch area, so you can just watch these securities, maybe investment ideas for the future or something like that. These are not in your portfolio at all at this moment. Here, the ones that are, you can add your ticket, the quantity bought, purchase price, the purchase date, the goal. The goal is what is linked to the email alerts. So when you set a goal on the security, like 16%, whatever the goal was, it reaches. It will first of all, it will when you refresh the page, it will tell you here inside the interface your goal has been reached, and it's plus and minus, right? So it will tell you when it's Like let's say you set a goal of 5% and it goes up 5%, we'll let you know. But if it goes down 5%, you also want to be aware, because it, you're not going to be making. Sometimes you're going to take losses. A lot of people have a really hard time deciding when to sell and when to buy. Like, you know, I would almost say a lot of people are in denial about some things. When the stock goes down a lot, they will double down. They will buy more stock to average down. It's called averaging down. But really, before you do any of that stuff, you should ask yourself if you made a mistake, and you have to be really honest with yourself. Sometimes you have to take a loss. So anyway, I'm not gonna go into the principles of investing, but here's the different stocks. And this, what this will do is not only flash an interface, but will send you an email automatically. And not only that, it will say, hey, this security for this has been reached. It will tell you what news was attributed to it. It also has after hour trading. So when the market is closed, it will give you after hour performance. And there's if there's anything that happens after hours, some new, let's say a good example would be earnings come out and stock goes up 10%. That will also trigger your goals, and would also send you an automatic email after hours to let you know if something happened, either good or bad, up or down. So anyway, these are your active holdings. You can sell position. Once you sell position, the portfolio, you have this chart that tracks your portfolio value over time. So it tracks it and total account value over time. All right, so this tells you what it is. This is your cash. These are your holdings, and et cetera, et cetera. If you did close the position, we'll let you know, like, did you make money or not? In this example, obviously, so this will track gains and losses as well. So that's your position. The overall market research is exactly what it is. I wanted to get an idea what's happening. So you got your Dow Jones, S&P 500, Nasdaq, VIX. A lot of people don't know what VIX is. This is an important one. So right now we're in here, so it's fairly low. Calm. The market's calm. This is really important because this also drives activity in option trading as well. But yeah, the market is all-time highs. It's something to keep an eye on. That's nothing goes up forever. So another thing I want to know is to get a lot of the market news and create a formula to give me like a near-term correction risk. So right now we're moderate, and tells you the formula here how it gets it. Right now it's 2 out of possible 8 warning points, and it tells you how the math works. If you look at these since July, you don't see a single green one here, so that's something to be aware of. There's a lot of red and orange and yellow, but it explains what these are. That's not a single green warning in the headline. That's interest rates are going up. There's a lot of layoffs in the professional market. So it's something to be aware of. You can click and see what the key phrases were for these, and you can kind of see it like that. Okay, this is individual security research. When you just researching, maybe you have for an existing position or something you're looking to buy. And this has I try to build a lot of smart features behind the scenes. So if this, for example, has this thing called, it will cache anything that's already been downloaded, right? So so yeah, it was fetching the cache, but you can see that it fetched the cache. Now, if it doesn't exist, it will download it. And this will become a progress bar automatically, so you don't have to wonder what's going on. It will tell you it's downloading news. But this is since the beginning of the year. It tells you what was happening. Here's your news, kind of like that. And then you have trend volatility, you have monthly views, you have the Monte Carlo targets before news attributions and after news weighted. So that kind of shift things. Now the thing is that with Monte Carlo, a stock cannot go below 0, so you're always going to have this weird distribution. But that's the type of data we're looking at. We're not looking at something else. And then these are the individual news. So here, you can I'll pick a stock. I don't know what is M. Is there an M? Now when you put the stock symbol, it will automatically verify if it's valid. Yep, and it picks the company's name, Macy's. So let's look at the last 6 months, for example. Look it up. It will first check to see if we did this before, if there's any cache information. It will say no, it hasn't, and now it's fetching the news. So I actually use this for my own 401k, my investments, and it's been pretty neat. I've been so obviously the brokerage account you log in has all these details, but I've built it in a way that I use the tool. The brokerage tool is built in a way that they see fit for the majority of their customers, but I really have customized this for the way I think about stocks and investments, which is helping me to make better decisions and just tracking my portfolios and whatnot. There's, like I said, there's a lot of behind the scenes smart features behind the GUI that you don't see. For example, if you, let's say you have $100,000 and you buy the stock for $85,000, that's 85% of your money. You ever heard that term? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's risky. It's really risky. So it should give you like an alert for that. Hey, you put most of your money in this one position. Just be aware of it, and it will tell you the risks associated with that as well. Oh, see how we went off. We looked at other things, so you can continue doing other things while it fetches and uses dynamic like that as well. It's kind of cool. Anyway, the things you can do. Yes, I used AI to assist me with this. This will take. I could probably do this on my own, but it will take me months and months to do this from scratch because there's so many things you have to learn. Yeah, and with AI assist, I was able to do this in literally a few days. So yeah, AI is the way to go. I just don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to justify doing something like this by hand versus AI. Yeah, hard to discuss that part. Anyway, hopefully you guys. Let's finish this up to show you. So initially it was just showing the individual like a date, news heading, stuff like that. And I also added just recently a way, an ability. So if you want to read the whole news, there'll be a link to the news source as well. Some news sources are behind a paywall, some are not. There's not something I can control. But just getting really just getting the headline is the most important part, and being, because that's really what you need. Um, but if you do want to look up the exact details, sometimes in like earnings news, you want to read into the numbers and think about it, right? So those instances, like there's something else you want to read it. But honestly, there's so many news across the wire that come across the wire that reading them, all of them would not be easy, right? So, but let's say Macy just had a recorder. Okay, let's read this and see what this was fool.com. So this is not behind a paywall. You can read that. So there's actually a lot of cool things here. I have after hour attribution to the stock prices as well. And there I use an API call to a news outlet. So a lot of these things you're seeing here that they were implemented using API calls. Any information is being fetched in from the outside. And yeah, for now it's just in browser. I don't think I would make an app for this. If I did, it would probably be, I don't know, it would most likely be like a Apple app, most likely, if I did not, but most likely I won't do one. Anyway, so hopefully this kind of I don't know, I wanted to share what I did with others. Hopefully this helps you in some way. Cheers.